What's up with you guys, man? I hope you guys are having an amazing day. And I have some videos lined up based off, the process. But I'm just going to get this video out the way really quick. It's a video that I've had an idea about for a while. And this can be gated towards men and gated towards women as well. I'm just going to speak from the position of a man. I believe that one of the most dangerous things that you can do as a Christian man, is to be isolated. Isolation simply means being away from community in the scope of, the Christian life. I think one of the most dangerous parts about isolation is that the things that don't make sense begin to make sense. Proverbs chapter 18, verses 1-2. Of course, I'm paraphrasing it, but it goes along the lines of those who isolate themselves seek their own opinions or seek their own desires, and they actually rage against sound judgment. Sin is already dangerous within it of itself, but having the mindset of knowing it all goes completely against who God is, goes completely against what the gospel is, and it goes completely against your walk with Christ. So it's one thing to struggle with sin and one thing to seek community in that struggle. And it's another thing to assume that you have it all together. And assuming that you have it all together means that you're assuming that you don't really need God in the first place. I struggled with severe anxiety. I struggled with anger. I struggled with just outbursts of rage that I couldn't control. And that was partly because I chose not to seek community. That's when things that didn't make sense start to make sense, to the point where I started twisting the gospel until it became my own thing. I remember a specific moment in my life a couple of years ago. I was in high school, and this is after I had walked away from Christ, where someone had came up to me and offered to evangelize to me, and I literally responded with, I already know this stuff. And we may not see it as dangerous, or we may not see it as problematic, but when you begin to understand that the reason why you're pursuing Christ is because you don't have all the answers. If you had all the answers, there would be no need to pursue Christ. Then you begin to understand how much you need him and how much he works through people. There's foolishness in believing that you don't need anyone by your side. You can't sharpen yourself. So this would just, it just serves as a reminder to understand that you can't do everything alone. Yes, you pray within your own, within your own space. You pray to God privately. You pursue God behind closed doors. But you need people around you. Even Jesus had people around him. His ministry was surrounded by disciples. People weren't alone. And when they were alone, it's not because they wanted to be. Find people that you can trust. Find a church that has a strong community, and find people that you can be vulnerable to. Of course, you have to be smart in who you're vulnerable to. You don't want to be vulnerable to someone who's unfruitful. But nevertheless, being in isolation means that you're seeking your own desires and you're raging against sound judgment. That's not what I'm saying. That's not my personal opinion. That's just what the Bible is saying. So yeah, just a quick video for you guys. Hopefully you take this and run with it. I'm going to take this and run with it. And it's a struggle. It's not easy because it requires a breaking down of your pride, and pride is comfortable. Vulnerability and community is uncomfortability. But it's all for the glory of God, who will one day glorify our bodies, so we won't even have to worry about this little, this little blockadoo stuff on the side. Yeah, hopefully this was a helpful video to you, and hopefully I was able to be a form of wisdom to your life. I love you guys. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. It's an amazing day outside. It's pretty warm. Stay safe, and grace and peace.